Doing interiors in Minecraft is super hard. The problem lies with the blocks that we have. Let's say that one block in Minecraft is about 1 meter high, or 40 inches in freedom units, which means most blocks are too big to use as an interior decoration. But also you have to consider that most interiors are way smaller than the exterior. Take this Japanese house that I built. It's 9 blocks wide on the outside, but you have only 7 blocks on the inside. Since walls in Minecraft takes about 1 block each, you have way less room to figure out the interiors, which makes it even more of a challenge to build an appropriate building with a functioning and well thought out interior. So there's a lot of planning and compromise that goes into planning out these interiors. And in this video, I'll be going step by step on how I plan my interiors. Hey, my name is Dai. I build very aesthetic builds with intentions and usage every week. And in today's video, we'll be doing some interiors, we're gonna be building some giant builds, and some world buildings. So stick around. Okay, so in the last episode, we built these 3 houses right here. And I built the interior for this one right there on the left, a teppanyaki. And we have this guy right here that we're probably going to be using for one of the builds. But maybe not this one, maybe on the right one right here. But yeah, let's focus on the interior of this middle building right here, which is going to be a bookstore. And I've gathered all the materials that we need for this specific build. So before we head into our new project today, let's focus on doing the interior for this build. We're going to be using these blocks for the flooring. So what I normally do is I would place these randomly as a texture. And I would use these polished andesite sparingly because they have a really strong texture. So I try not to use them too much. And then I mix it with some stone and some andesite just to make it a bit more natural and random. Maybe we need a bit more stone bricks here, especially on this part right here. It feels a bit barren, but we're not going to be able to see most of it anyway. So hopefully this is pretty good. So first let's make the counter for the bookstore where we're going to be paying for the stuff. Oh my god. That was a bad idea leaving it dark. So yeah, let's make the counter real quick. Let's use some of these blocks right here and maybe a sign and a lectern. So it would only make sense for the cashier to be here. And then we'll have like rows of books on these sides. So let's build that out first. I also want to talk about how good the reception is on my last video. A lot of you guys seem to enjoy me talking about the challenges that I have to deal with as someone who's trying to do YouTube full time. And the support that I've been getting, the people who are engaged in that conversation is really overwhelming in a good way though. And I read all of your comments and all of the conversation that was being said about that specific topic, and the amount of people who's encouraging me, telling me to keep going. It's just really heartwarming, especially for me who's always like second guessing what I'm doing sometimes. It's really great to hear people like being touched by what I put out there. And it makes me really happy. So I want to thank you guys for saying all of those nice things on my last video. So we're going to be using the same technique as we did in the teppanyaki. We're going to be using some honey blocks in the middle here. It might not be wise for me to use it right now, but we'll make it work. I forgot to grab some wool. But thankfully we have a wool farm right in my older section of my base. So let me just show you guys that real quick. And although most of my old builds are going to be gone, but I really want to keep this wool farm right here. I think it'll be a good addition to the newer environment. So let's just shear some wools right here. Okay, that should be more than enough. So let's put this wool carpet here, put some chiseled bookshelves, replace this with some oak, and we can strip it down. That's better. Oh, this is annoying. Oh, there we go. Then we can put copper golem here for decoration, some saplings on a pot. Same goes for up here, and a chest next to it. Put some temporary blocks, put some candles, put the shelves. There we go. That's looking good so far. And I want to utilize these bookshelves right here that I use for the front of the house, right here. I think this could be a good addition to the interior, making it look a bit messy and, you know, random a bit. So let's just put some random books in there. Let me see. So let's just put a few of them right this. Put some down here, and put some there, put some right there. Looking good so far. And the last thing we need to do for this section right here is to put some paintings down. So let me grab some temporary blocks just to make it this tiny square. Let's see if I can get what I want here. Oh, there we go. Let's put a couple more down right here. There we go. I like that one. Let's do one more here. Perfect. And for the last touch, we're going to be putting these banners at the back like so. Perfect. I love this corner already. It's looking super good. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to be doing the walls first. I'm going to put the beams down like so. And then we can break this. And then we're gonna put some lecterns down here and some book and quill like so. That looks good. And then we're gonna be replicating that look for the whole floor. Put the books down, put some paintings on there. Let's see if I can get what I want. That looks good. That looks good. I don't like the creeper one for some reason, so let's see if I can get... Okay, that's pretty good. Now the last thing we need to do for this section is to put some item frames and then some iron trapdoors for the handle. Rotate it to look like a handlebar. Okay, perfect. Now we're just gonna hide the item frame by right-clicking it, like so. Alright, everything's looking good so far. Now the next thing we need to do is to put the bookshelves down. So let's put the bookshelves in between these rows like so. And then let's build them up. And maybe have some loomings in between these, so it'll look like an empty bookshelves. Which doesn't really make sense for a bookstore to have some empty bookshelves, but it looks pretty good. So let's do that. And then we're gonna top it off with some trapdoors. We're gonna be placing some more loomings like here. That's pretty good. So to finish this floor off, we'll be mimicking the pillars right here on the other side. So we're just gonna mirror that. Perfect. And then we can put one more torch right here just to give it a bit more light. That looks good. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to build up the staircase to the top so we can kind of guess how tall it's going to be. I think this is going to be a good height. Yeah, that's good. Now we can put some more bookshelves down here. That's looking good. Now to build out the ceiling, we're going to do some cross hatches with these pillars like so. And we're just going to go all the way across. Put some trapdoors like so. Now to finish this floor, we're gonna put some lanterns here. One right here should be good, and one right at the entrance. And now we can take off the torches here. Let's see how it looks. Beautiful. Let's do the second floor by doing the walls first. And we're gonna be keeping the roof from the first floor as the flooring on the second one. I think that looks pretty cool. Plus we're gonna be saving some space so it's not too cramped up here. Let's first break these so we have more lighting and we get to also kind of see the view, and then we can place the banners down again. There we go. That looks so much better. Now let's do the roof. Now we can use the trapdoors from that side on this side right here, like so. And now we can put some chiseled bookshelves right here all the way across. And now we can put some ladder here so people can reach the books at the top. Alright, looking good. Now we just gotta put the table in the middle with some andesites. That's looking good. Now we're gonna put a lantern in the center of it. Put a lantern down. Gotta put some signs to cover it up to make it a bit more modern. That's looking good. Let's put some railings using glass. Perfect. Put some pots down. Drop a candle in there and get a painting down. Let's see if I can get what I want. There we go. One more here should be pretty good as well. So let's place some blocks. Okay, that's cool. And now for the final finishing touch, we're gonna put a sign here. Here we go. So let's name it Dialogue 1 through 10 and Dialogue 11 through 20. Perfect. So as you might have guessed, we always have this comment of the day at the end of the video. So these comments right here, we're gonna put them right here in these shelves right here. So maybe every 5 episodes maybe, or maybe more. Let's see how it goes. We're gonna put them right there, and then it's gonna go chronologically until we fill all of them up, which is gonna be a super long project, but this is gonna be super cool. We have a use case for this building. Not only will the first floor house our librarian, but the second floor will also have a use case. Perhaps you could put a carpet down here. So let's mix it up with some moss like so, and some green carpets. And yeah, that brings the room together. Now the last thing we need to do before we call it a wrap on this building is to bring the villager down here. As you might have seen from the last video, I do have a villager breeding chamber right here, and we managed to catch a couple of them in the last episode. So let's try to grab one of them out. Perfect. And we just gotta drag them all the way to the front. Alright, okay. Now we just gotta block him inside. Let's put some blocks down. This should be good enough, I think. Alright, okay. No. We're so close. Yes. No. Get in here. Oh my god. Come on. Okay, that was a bit of a pain, but we got it at the end. Let's see what enchantment he has. So I don't know if it's gonna be useful. Blast protection, I don't know about that. I probably gotta do like a bit of a cheese by breaking it a few times until I get what I need. But yeah, we have the villager in here. That's cool. And we can call this build a finished product. But yeah, I'm trying something new with this episode where we're gonna be doing the interiors of the previous build or some interiors that's not fully completed in my forever world. That way I can get the interiors done and I can show you guys the process step by step of how I do interiors. What the heck is he doing up there? Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about this section of the video. I hope it's both engaging and entertaining. I had fun making them, but I hope it was a good viewing experience as well. So I do have a build planned out on that side right there, but I want to show you guys the wheat farm that we did on the last episode right there, right by the gatehouse. So let's check it out real quick. What's up, fellas? Lovely day we're having, huh? Yeah, I was just talking about that too. It's pretty interesting how that... Yo, who are those guys right there?
Dude, I need to go to the bathroom. Yo.
Yo!
That-
Az? Nick?
Hey, look who it is.
Yo,
Ice?
What's up, bro?
die?
What are you guys doing here?
I don't know.
I've been looking for a bathroom, honestly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we have
yeah.
those right there. I can show you guys.
You have those? Okay.
Yeah, I got a bathroom. But
You
Uh,
have, you have three.
oh yeah, I mean I have one, but you guys can take turns, I suppose.
We can share.
I don't know if I can wait anymore.
How did you
Oh,
guys
no, he's
get
gonna-
here?
He's gonna blow.
Yeah.
Yo, not on my wheat field though. Try to do it
Yeah.
somewhere else. Okay, maybe if you can just head that way while I talk to Az, maybe. Just head that way. The bathroom is like right there.
Uh,
Yo, Ice, what's up? I haven't seen you in a while.
Oh yeah, he doesn't talk.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. But now that you guys are here, do you guys want to do like some buildings for me?
Oh yeah. We be down, bro. I think so. I mean, Ice, are you down? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's just follow me. I can show you guys the bathroom as well. Yeah, just head that way, Nick. Just keep going straight. That way.
bro, I'm lost.
Into
Oh.
the
Oh,
dock district right here.
Oh, this is very nice.
Thank you.
oh
Just
wow.
a lot of renovation
Oh, the
happening.
houses. Oh, this is so cool.
Thank
Wait.
you.
Can I stop and get food?
Yeah, if you have emeralds.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I need some.
I have mushrooms.
That doesn't work that way. Okay, we're almost there. This is the power plant that we have to run the whole
Oh,
city,
yeah.
basically.
Oh nice. So, what we're gonna build today?
Oh, that's a good question. So now that we have an electric power plant here, I think it would make sense to have like a water treatment or something that has to do with the water system in the city. Because again, we have like a sewer going on down there. So I think like a water purification or something like right around this area, that would be super dope. So that's what we're gonna be building
Oh,
today.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sounds
Yeah.
like a plan. Yeah.
Yeah, we can make that work.
All right, so I did like prepare all the stuff that we'd probably need down here. Like if you just head down here, I know it's like a safety hazard right
gonna
now. Oh shoot, okay. I do not advise that. Okay, you're alive. But
Yeah.
we have some stuff right here. And I gathered all the materials that we need for today's build basically. So we just gotta like think of something to build and then that should be all.
Perfect.
Yeah, this could work. This could work.
All right, let's start building then.
Yeah.
Dang, everything's looking great here. I think we're pretty much done. I wonder where the other guys are at right now. Yo guys, are you down here? The build's pretty much done, I think.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah.
Oh, my stomach, bro.
We gotta go. Yeah, thank you for having us. Yeah, the build is great. Yeah, but
Yeah, Di, thanks for
make
having
that
us, bro. I gotta go.
bye, man.
Okay, bye. Did you all just go into the restroom together? Hello? What the heck? And there we have it, folks, the new addition to the industrial district. I really love what we have going on right here. So let me show you guys what we've made so far. And then of course address the elephant in the room, who they are and who the guests were and where they came from. So this building right here is going to be our water power plant for the city. There's going to be a lot of water related farms inside. I've thought about adding a squid farm and a glow squid farm, and then maybe a kelp farm and some pickle farm as well. So this space right here is going to be super big. So let's head inside real quick and show you guys what I mean. So we have this section right here on the left side, which is run over by mobs right now. So I'm gonna have to lit up the whole area before I start working here. And on the right side, we have this whole section as well that is currently being covered by grass, but once we remove it later on, you can see the whole space down there as well. We also built out this section right here in the middle. Eventually, I'm gonna remove the grass here in the middle, so we have like an open space going from downwards to up right here, and try to make the whole area a bit more connected with the bottom level right here. Because again, this area right here is pretty much inspired by brutalism and a bit of a cyberpunk and Japanese style going on. So I'm trying to mix up all of these different aesthetic into one. So it's gotta be a challenge to connect all of the different elements and build style that we have going on right there and the ones we have going on in here. So let me show you guys the dock part that we have at the bottom. So we're gonna be building out the pier right here, going all the way down into this door and door right here. But the idea with this giant gate right here is to allow ships to come in and maybe store some cargo and stuff like that. Even though it's like a water treatment facility, I think it still makes sense to have these little elements to make the city and the whole area feel more alive. And one thing I noticed with a more cyberpunk-ish build is that they have a lot of like alleyways and ways to connect the city, kind of like New York and Tokyo, where there's like tiny roads connecting up all of the different parts of the city. So that's what I'm trying to do here, and we're gonna eventually have like a staircase going downwards, and maybe like a statue here in the middle would also work really well. But to talk more about the build right here, let me show you guys where the build is supposed to be seen. This angle right here is where we try to perfect the look, since the idea is that people will come in through boats and then see this giant factory right here. And that's the most interesting part of this build, because it's basically a 2-floor building where it's connecting the shore levels and the ground level basically, right? So that's what's super interesting about this specific build right here. And that gave us a challenge where we need to build this looking good on both sides, right? This side right here still needs to look good, and the other side right there also needs to look good. But I think we did a pretty good job trying to combine all of these elements and try to make both sides look good. And as you can see on the side, we have a sign that says Foundry, and these are the group of people that helped me with this build right here. So as I said before, I'm gonna be having lots of guests in my world, and I want to commemorate the different contributions that these people have in my world. So starting with the Foundry right here, we have 3 different members that came to join my world. We have Israel, and then we have Icewall, and we have Nick. So these 3 people right here are a part of the Foundry, and the Foundry is a group of builders doing an SMP. Some of them are YouTubers. Israel and Nick are YouTubers. They just started like a few months ago. Yeah, they're really great builders, and I appreciate them for lending their talents to this build right here. I could not have done this without them. So please check them out and see their amazing SMP builds. I'm 100% sure you're gonna enjoy them. So I want to do a part of the interior of this giant build right here. I'm not gonna be doing all of them because that would take a lot of time to design, to not only design and think about how to make the interior make sense. So I'll just be doing this side right here, and then we're gonna call it a day, because this video has been delayed for quite a while now. I try to upload every 7 days, and this one is in the works for way more than that. So yeah, let's just start doing the interior. So I looked at a lot of real-life references for brutalism interiors, and the common design language that all of these buildings have is minimalistic, exposed concrete, geometric forms, and intense light and shadow. So we're going to be combining all of these elements into this one section of the build. I actually consulted one of my friends who studies interiors, and he's also an amazing builder in Minecraft. His name is Civ. He told me that brutalism didn't start as brutalism, at least the brutalism that we associate with today the cold and menacing structures, but it derived from modernism, in which the main idea is that everyone deserved the same quality of housing. These architects took heavy inspiration from socialist principles, where the original idea was to create something that is functional and cost-effective. Brutalism in most cases was a response to the financial situation that most people in Europe was facing after World War II, and it was the most cost-effective way of building in a very short amount of time, mainly because concrete was everything back then. I think understanding these cultural significance of what you're building and understanding the historic significance of it all, it adds a deeper layer of meaning to your builds. Now when I'm building something, I continuously ask myself, okay, why is there a brutalistic industrial complex next to a Japanese village? What happened here? How is the economy and the livelihood of the town affected by it? Was there a lot of access to concrete near the town? I think not answering these questions directly is a good thing. I let my builds and these little nuggets of lore that I spread throughout each and every one of my videos to answer these questions. And well, here's the interior. I hope you guys learned something today. Alright, now this right side of the interior right here is looking super good. I like how we have a lot of natural lighting. It gives the room a bit more depth as well. You can see there's like a different tone of light here. Same goes for this one. This is a bit brighter and this is a bit darker. So the room feels more realistic, right? Because most of the time when you use light in Minecraft is that it basically kind of lights the whole place quite evenly. But if you control the light somehow using these like natural lights and even this artificial lights that we have down there, it really gives off that three-dimensional aspect to the room and it makes it feel more alive. Hopefully that makes sense. I took a lot of inspiration from real-life brutalist buildings and I like how it's really minimal and there's like a lot of like long lines going everywhere. So that's what I was trying to replicate with this whole section of the room. But on the right side of the room right here, we're going to be making a bit more of like an office space where most of this stuff is going to be sectioned into different floors. Yeah, connected all the way down there. And to make the room a bit more interesting, we have this section right here as well. There's no real function to it, but it kind of helps that create that elevation that we're creating right here, and sectioning it as such. It makes sense if you look at it from this angle, right? And by no means am I an expert in interior design and architecture, and I'm just trying to replicate the vibe that this architectural style gives, basically. So as we head down here, and right under the stairs right here, we have an empty spot right here that could be good for a very compact farm, right? So let's just do that real quick. Let's make a kelp farm right here. I have all of the stuff that we need for this, and I basically just gotta place them right now. So I haven't really thought about how to make the collecting chamber yet, but I know it's gonna be somewhere in this room. I just haven't quite figured out how to make it look good. So for this episode, we're just gonna be building the machine itself and not so much as completing it. So let's put these observers there. Perfect. That's pretty much all the redstone that I need to do for the space. Now let's make an infinite water source right here and put the glass down for the front side of things. So the bottom layer. Pretty sure most of you know how these farms work. It's pretty much like a sugarcane farm where you just have to wait for it to grow and then the piston will push it out. So let me block this side right here. Oh, actually, let's put the hopper down. This is where the collecting chamber is gonna go, basically. We can now put the kelps down. Let's cover this up real quick. And then we can put some slabs here at the top so we can funnel the water. Put some water in here. I think that should be good. We can cover this up. And now the last thing we need to do is to fill up the water at the top here. Okay, we're done with this section right here. Let's break this part right here as well because it's blocking the view to this farm. But yeah, that's the farm so far. We're gonna eventually put a lot of farms in these different section of the building, but I have to figure that out first. It's a lot of planning on my end, so this is what we have so far. One of the things that has been bothering me in the back of my mind when it comes to my forever world, it's this section right here. When I was trying to figure out what to put next to it, because this spot right here was in an awkward area, and I figured adding something natural with some trees and some pines like this would look really good, and putting this creature right here, this Appa, made a lot of sense in my head at the start. But now that I've grown as a builder, this does not really fit my aesthetic and what I'm trying to build in my forever world. But I do like the idea of having creatures and different type of animals and in the area, but this definitely doesn't make sense in a specific spot, right? Because this is an industrial area, and this specific spot right here is going to be the entrance of this whole industrial part, and this just does not give the right vibe to an industrial district. So eventually I think I'm going to be building some houses and some more urban brutalist style building, and this does not fit the vibe at all. So we're going to be removing all of this, but in today's video we're going to be removing the Appa specifically. But I don't want him to be gone forever, right? Because I like the idea of having these animals in the game to make it more lively and to make it more realistic. So I'm going to be showing you guys an alternative to this. But first, let's say goodbye to Appa real quick. Well, you look at that. This is so much better and it feels more realistic than what we had before. And if you guys haven't caught on, this is a resource pack that changes the happy gas into Appa. And to pay respect to what was built in the past, I thought this would be a good idea to replace the happy gas into something that is more exciting than the happy gas itself. I think this looks so much better, but the only thing that it's missing is that it doesn't have an animation, because I do use fresh player animation in my world and it doesn't have that. But other than that, I really like this alternative that we have here. So eventually when we replace this with another brutalist building, I think it'd be good to have this space right here to store our happy gas somehow and make it an interesting build instead of what we had before. Oh, this is a perfect time. I want to show you guys this mod that I have that makes the sunset even better. So let's watch it with Appa right here. And obviously my bison needs a name here, so if you guys have any name suggestion, I'd love to hear from you guys. But let's see the sunset together. So yeah, the mod that I have helps transition between nighttime and daytime even better. So you have the cinematic and much more colorful gradient from night and day, which is super nice. I kind of want to stay up longer sometimes because of how nice the sunset looks in this game now. And yeah, this is a really nice way to end the day sometimes when I'm building things out in this world. Alright, before we end the video right here, we have the comment of the day, which I'm trying to rebrand into naming it dialogue with, you know, my name. So I think it'll be fitting for that. So the comment of the day is from Ethan. I'm not gonna try and pronounce that last name. I really don't know how to do that. But he said, you could name the villagers Takashi and Yoshikazu. They're two famous Japanese chefs who are brothers. Finally, your videos and builds are amazing, and I can't wait to see what you can make. All love, bro. Good luck. Well, thank you so much, Ethan. That's a really thought out name actually for those two villagers. So yeah, before we end the video, I think it'll be appropriate to name these two villagers. I do have a couple of name tags, so let's see if we can change it real quick. It should be here in my blacksmith area. Oh, here we go. So let's name them real quick. There we go. All right, we have Yoshikazu right there and Takashi right here. Perfect. This adds so much life to the build. You don't even know, like, having these different names is really immersive to me. And I'd like you guys to name this librarian as well for this bookstore right here. It doesn't have to be a Japanese name. You could give it some random name, funny name or whatever, but you know, I think Japanese name would make it a bit more immersive, but whatever you guys suggest, I'll try and put it in. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video right here. I put a lot of effort and thought behind all of my builds, so I hope you learned something and you know, you get inspired by what I do, and I hope to see you guys next week. Take care and bye for now.